Hello and welcome to the final event of the B League of Quack's Marble Clash. Only 5 teams remain who can still win: the Rose Rollers, Flying Saucers, Balls of Water, Wizard Lizards, and the Viper Venom. And then the Team Pixie and Orange Fizz fighting for the podium, but still a lot of permutations, a lot of things to go over. And of course on the opposite end there are 4 teams trying to escape relegation in this final event, the Elimination Race. We saw this in the main league. It's a very chaotic event. There's a lot of opportunity for passing, for comebacks. And at the end, you just don't want to be the last one across the line. But here we go with the first round. Team Pixie out ahead. Azure Diamond's not far behind, but right now it's the Gugos. They're well toward the back, and they're one of the teams that's in a bit of danger for relegation. They probably will be okay, but we'll see. As their captain Slime goes out. Very first round, not what they wanted to see. Especially for a team lower in the order, but now for the next round. Here we go again. The Orange Fizz look like they're out ahead this time. Already looking pretty good. And Team Pixie just goes straight off the course. What happened there? Just flew right off, hit an obstacle a bit too hard. That means they will take 15th this event. Their hopes of getting a podium this season are done. They're just hoping now that they don't fall too far in the standings. Meanwhile, the Night Knights cutting it close there. Got the last across the finish line. Of course, they didn't get eliminated thanks to Team Pixie. But meanwhile, the Balls of Water, they're one of the contenders, and they're toward the back right now, trying to keep up with the Jelly Jammers, but it's not going to happen. The Balls of Water, they are eliminated. They're one of the biggest contenders, and they are done. That eliminates them from contention, and now there are only 4. Meanwhile, Viper Venom surviving these first few rounds is definitely good for them. Not good for the other contenders, as the Avocados now take the lead. Wizard Lizards up there. That's the Gigwatts toward the back, and now the Viper Venom see themselves in danger, and they are done. The Viper Venom not out of contention just yet, because they have the point lead, but that's definitely good news for those other teams, as they are continuing to survive, while the Viper Venom do not. Now, let's see as they head into the next one. The Night Knights looking like they're ahead for now. Now it's a big commotion. Now the Rose Rollers, they're one of the contenders, but they will catch up. Looks like the Soaring Skies were the ones who went out there. Yes, their Captain Pegasus is done now. Meanwhile, if I'm not mistaken, the Viper Venom going out last round actually eliminated Rose Rollers already, so they're another team out of contention. And the Flying Saucers will need at least a gold here. The Wizard Lizards will need 8th place. But meanwhile, the Snow Skaters at the back, at least briefly. The Orange Fizz, though, will not be able to keep up in those closing sections. It looked like Pop had it, but just hit a few too many obstacles, and sometimes it's all about that last stretch. But they were not really one of the contenders as we head into the next round. The Avocados, once again, off to a good start. They've been pretty consistent. Rose Rollers as well. But the Snow Skaters at the back, once again, they're dead last in the standings. And the Azure Diamonds will come across in the back. They were in the relegation zone, and I don't know if 10th place is going to be enough to get them out of it. But meanwhile, the Wizard Lizards were the ones cutting it close this time, just narrowly staying in contention. And now we head into the next one, which, if I'm not mistaken, if the Wizard Lizards survive here, they will pass the Viper Venom. And oh, what was that? It looked like one of the teams went off to the top side. Rose Rollers will get saved by that, but that means that with the pink pallets going out, that the Wizard Lizards will eliminate the Viper Venom from contention. And now that means it's all down to the Wizard Lizards and the Flying Saucers, but the higher the Wizard Lizards finish, the harder it will be for the Saucers to be able to compete. So now the Gigawatts looking like they're toward the back. Now the Jelly Jammers are, if I'm not mistaken, or perhaps that was the Night Knights. Oh yes, it was the Night Knights. Their Captain Twilight will be going out here in 8th place. Meanwhile, several of those teams in relegation are currently still alive, like the Gigawatts, the Jelly Jammers, the Snow Skaters even. And the Gigawatts are actually out ahead, with the Jelly Jammers not far behind. Wizard Lizards there as well, but the Flying Saucers now are at the back. And if they go out here, yes, they will. That means that the Wizard Lizards are the B-League champions. With the Flying Saucers going out here, getting a respectable 7th, they will not do enough, and the Wizard Lizards are the last ones standing. Of course, the Rose Rollers are still in, but they were already eliminated from contention. But now, looks like the Jelly Jammers out ahead, the Wizard Lizards not far behind. Now it's the Gigawatts at the back, and they are close in at the very end. The Avocados will be going out here. The Gigawatts do not want to get relegated, but it will take a gold medal here for them to escape it. Meanwhile, the Jelly Jammers will need at least a silver, if I'm not mistaken. But now we head into the next round. Very few teams left as the Gigawatts continuing to lead early. Jelly Jammers not far off, and it's the Snow Skaters well at the back. If I'm not mistaken, they've already been relegated for certain, and this 5th place will definitely help them. This was their best result in any event this season, if I'm not mistaken, or at least tied for it. So they can be happy about that, at the very least. But now we head into the top 4. The Jelly Jammers and Gigawatts still fighting to escape relegation. And the Rose Rollers were at the back. Now they catch back up, and the Wizard Lizards, after already clinching the title here, they will go out with a 4th place to end their season. A pretty phenomenal one with 2 gold medals, but can't quite snatch the medal at the end. But that means the Jelly Jammers and Gigawatts both are fighting to escape relegation. The Rose Rollers just want to finish on the overall podium at the end here, but right now, the Jelly Jammers toward the back. They would need to advance here to escape, but they won't do it. The Jelly Jammers will come just short of escaping relegation, heartbreaking for them. And meanwhile, the Gigawatts will need to win this final round in order to escape relegation. The Rose Rollers don't really have anything to gain here, but the Gigawatts have nothing to lose. And right now they're ahead, but they fall behind. They're hitting too many obstacles. I don't know if they can catch up. It's just not going to happen. The Rose Rollers will take the final gold of the season, and the Gigawatts came just 1 round short of escaping relegation. Heartbreaking for them. But that marks the exciting finale to this B-League, with Pansy of the Rose Rollers standing atop the final podium. So long, everyone, and thank you for watching.